in game number 2. The draft oddly similar here to that one, and now Hylissang has this huge playmaker champ.
Akali Gragas.
It's so huge here for him to be on this playmaker.
They
deny the xayah, right? They did that one more time, but this is something where, again, we can see Fnatic return to the Rakan in the bot lane, go for the safe Ezreal next to it, or the xayah if they want to lock it in early.
Ooh, and now we're going to get to see the Corki come out from Nemesis. So he's going to return a little bit to comfort. Not that he had a bad game on the Akali. I thought he was very good on it.
Solo killed Cat.
Exactly.
And made a statement that not only can he play the champion, he should be feared on the champion.
But he's now gone to something that he is more known for with the Corki. So by picking it into the Akali, it's going to be difficult to shut him down. And with the package, he can continue to look for roams.
And of course, there's one of the other counters to Rakan. Lux, just very quickly, Nemesis Corki, 4 games played, undefeated, 27 kills, 8 deaths, and 25 assists.
Grabs is putting a lot of faith in Mickey right here. The Lux, fantastic matchup into the Rakan, but it's definitely something that can get punished if engaged on, the likes of the Gragas and the Rakan, of course. But for this Lux, with the Aftershock, super powerful in lane, you're guaranteed a light binding every single time Hylissang tries to go in on that Rakan, and this is going to be a game where G2 focus around giving bot lane push priority and 3v3s around bot lane.
So the Skarner is going to be taken off the board from the side of Fnatic. G2, what kind of jungle options do they have? To me, this feels like Fnatic kind of want G2 to go back onto the Sejuani. It feels like that they've dealt with it pretty well, and they know that they can handle Jankos' performance on it. When he did go for the Lee Sin on game 1, he did have a solid performance, but it wasn't enough really to result in any significant leads for G2.
I think you want to take the Sejuani away, mainly because with a Lux support, you need engage, right? And yes, Wunder can bring that with a Kled up in the top lane. With these bans signaling to me, Kled pick a pretty high priority. So Fnatic see that and they say, we must take away the strongest engaged jungler left on the board. Put your eggs into the Wunder basket. He's the guy that has to start the fights for G2.
So G2 right now looking at more of the skirmish pick style comp, now kind of taking over what Fnatic did in last game, whereas Fnatic going much more towards that conventional teamfight style that they are so famous for throughout Fnatic's history. With the Lee Sin lock-in, that confirms that again, G2 strong, 2v2 mid-jungle, especially once they hit the level 6, and we can see Jankos actually have quite a few lanes to play around in the early stages of play.
Now the question is, what do Fnatic do to round out this composition? We're looking for the top laner, as well as Rekkles' AD. The safe option was Ezreal, and one that was pointed out by the color casters just a moment ago. Nicely done there. And what top laner are we going to start looking at, knowing Wunder has the ability to counter it?
Do Fnatic consider taking the Kled here? The safe engage, it would synergize quite nicely with their composition as well.
I would really like the Kled when we're looking at all these champions that have been banned away. The Shen, another one, if they wanted to return to, could be a good option.
The Rengar hover.
I really hope it's not the Rengar, and it will be the Shen. So going back to a champion that we have seen several times.
And when Fnatic have won games, it is with globals on their side. Game 1 and Game 2, they had it. This time, they're running the Shen to try and make up for that. The Corki package as well. They have the tools they had in their wins. Can they convert it into another?
Ooh, so we're actually going to see the Akali pivoted up towards the top lane, and the Syndra is going to come in mid lane as an answer to Nemesis's Corki. I like this adaptation from G2. We often don't get to see Wunder's Akali, but we all know that he does like these high skill-intensive champions. And given that he had a pretty pop-off game last game, putting him in a bigger position to carry could be what G2 need to take us to game 5.
Definitely let this guy carry, but look at what G2 is lacking. The hard engage. Yes, they have pick potential. The Syndra stun, the Lux binding. They do have tools to find picks, but the 5v5s, the team fights that have been so crucial in every single one of these matches, they have less power. It's more up to the flashy plays, the individual outplays, than it is to going for a front-to-back 5v5 team fight that won them game 3.
I'm also looking at this global presence that Fnatic does have. Corki package, Shen ultimate, it is very easy for Fnatic to appear on side lanes and do what they often do throughout this series, which is, oh, you want to force a pick, a skirmish onto us? Too bad, it's not a 1v3, it is a 3 versus 3, and we will outplay you in this situation.
Well, this summer, Wunder has played 1 Akali game and he went unkilled. He went 7-0-5. Career-wise, in the LEC, Bwipo's played 1 Shen game, and it was earlier this split. He also won that game. He went 2-1-8. Let's see whether or not that global presence of Shen and that semi-global Corki package is what's going to give Fnatic the 3-1 victory, the guaranteed spot in the finals. And even bigger than that, being the first team to beat this iteration of G2 eSports in a best of series. Fnatic have already made a gigantic statement about what the ceiling of their ability on an individual and team level can look like, and they're at match point against G2.
And let's be real, Quickshot. G2 have faltered in every single early game so far this series. It has been entirely the Fnatic show. While G2 have tried to challenge and skirmish Fnatic at multiple times, it is often Fnatic that come out on top and are able to make the outplay a reality. So we need to see G2 level up their early game performance. We need to see G2 perform at the level that they did during the regular season if they want to take a shot at securing that final spot.
And I also think the fact that G2 didn't crumble, that they were behind in Game 3, they had not won a Game 3 when being down 0-2 historically, the fans are now starting to chant as well. For G2, now we really see how deep is their ability to play from behind. How is their metal?
Well, they're not behind now, so that's the bright side. But you're right, in the series, but also, like as you rightly said, by being at a disadvantage in that series, the bounce back, think of the momentum that these players now carry into this game as well.
I also think when we say, you know, playing from behind, this is a game where G2 need to have a lead coming out of the early game. This is not one where you passively farm until 20 minutes, you take a team fight around the Baron. No. This is about getting control early on and using that control to set up for picks later. And for me, I'm looking specifically at Jankos in this early game and how he can impact the map. I think mid lane, there is kill threat there with a Syndra, and if you can burn a flash off of Nemesis, even if you don't get the kill, that unlocks Caps' ability to take him down at level 6.
And we are taking a look at Jankos' regular season stats. All season long, he's been one of the standout performers for G2 eSports. You can see 6 KDA, 4.6 kills plus assists on average at 15 minutes. And Vedius, when we talk about Jankos, he's one of the players that can really, he enables G2's playstyle because of his ability to understand his individual players, but the game as well.
Jankos is someone that is an MVP candidate for me. His performance has been spectacular, and I think that his role in G2 is someone that only he can fill. Because I heard this great story about Jankos where he was talking about how he wanted to come mid and gank. He wanted to set up a play, but he was only going to come after he did Raptors. But because he knows Caps so well, he skips his Raptors, goes to mid, and makes the play happen anyway, because he knows that his mid laner wants to try and force a fight before Jankos is ready. The ability to understand what your teammates want to do, to be able to read the map, and to provide the necessary plays in order to allow your team to succeed is what makes Jankos so pivotal to the success of G2 eSports.
And in this game, he has to be super aware too, because he has 3 pushing lanes in the early game. He needs to know where Broxah is at all times. Right now, he suspects same path Broxah went for in game 2, full clear bot side, then go up top. So there's a D4 to try and spot him out, and now they're setting up for the deny. It's a level 3 advantage. We need to look at this bottom lane because Jankos is coming around.
That is a gigantic set of minions. 2, 3 lined up. Light binding, that's the flash light binding. Flashed away from. Rekkles committed the flash, then the arcane shift. Hilly threw his down as well in exchange for Mickey's flash only. But look at the golden experience being denied.
It is a massive denial here from G2, basically single-handedly winning the mid lane. Now in the mid, there was this flash trade where Caps did have to lose it. Now they're TPing in. That's going to be the Shen.
Oh, that's a flash dash taunt. All of a sudden, Bwipo manages to catch one. Mickey is in trouble. He gets taken out. First blood secured. One.
Akali is following. Look at Wunder come in. Oh my God!
Way down onto Bwipo. That shuriken lasts forever. Manages to find the kill. Now all of a sudden there was a turret plate or 2 secured. The net gain 1 kill apiece, top and bot respectively.
What a spot ender. Oh, I saw he was furiously pointing at the minimap. I'm like, what's he pointing? And I just see an Akali fly across the entire map. He arrives in the bot lane, makes it a 1v1, but it is Fnatic that end up securing first blood. We once again see G2 overextending, but Jankos on the return looking for a kill.
Oh, not going to find the sonic wave onto Hylissang. But so importantly, 1, 2, 3 flashes down for G2 eSports. 4 down for Fnatic. So these next few minutes become incredibly tense as there are multiple targets to choose from. Now, Mickey playing this Lux, I am going to criticize Mickey. We have not seen a level of play from him that has been reflective of his regular season performances. And Ender, you mentioned how easy it is to kill a champion like Lux, so I want to see how he plays for the rest of the game.
He's going to have to be on top of his game. Now, watching this play one more time. This is the teleport and the follow from Wunder. I love this. Doesn't even have vision in the bush, but he knows the TP is coming through, and then he vaults over every wall. That's way cooler than Tao. Look at him just go, but there's a fight in the mid.
No, I demand another replay of that when we get time, or maybe it'll have to be for social. But that is an insane flight path. Air miles accrued for Wunder. Now, all of a sudden, G2 Esports
Oh, they're giving it to you.
yes! Yes! Thank you, production!
Look at the speed.
Worth. Thank you.
Oh, he even got...
The best part is Broxah saw him and starts furiously pinging the Akali, following him down into the bottom lane.
I don't care that Mickey died. That was worth it for the replay.
But also, it was really worth it for Wunder, because the teleport was invested from Bwipo, but not for Wunder. He came back into lane with the revolver, which means that now he's so much stronger in this matchup, and he has the TP. So look at potential flanks being set up in the bot side once Wunder hits it.
And it's the second time G2 Esports have done that Akali-style play. Caps did it going to the top lane just a few weeks ago.
And think about this. When Shen hits level 6 and uses Stand United when they're a side lane, Wunder can do this every single time. We said globals were the way to win here for Fnatic. Well, G2 have matched it.
Yeah, you're completely right. I never thought about this in the draft, but the Akali pivot into the Shen is working wonders for G2, and it gives them a more favorable matchup in the mid lane, but so far, going in favor of Nemesis. Now, admittedly, a large part of that is because of all the pressure that Broxah has been throwing mid lane, and Caps has not been getting jungle support because Jankos has been investing a huge amount of his early game time into the bot side of the map. And you can see that that is resulting in a big experience and gold advantage to Broxah. He has been stealing camps away from Jankos, he has been building up farm, and he sits with a 500 gold lead over his jungle counterpart.
And that is a problem because you guys have both said how important it is for G2 Esports to know, understand, and control what Broxah's doing. It's Broxah that picked up that kill onto Mickey just a few moments ago. And as you said, with the lead he's already built up, this is a good sign for Fnatic.
And they'll be waiting to see if he can do anything with this flashless Lux in the bottom lane. 60 seconds on that, so it'd be hard to make a play unless he goes immediately after the red buff. And looking at his experience, the red buff will be enough to take over to level 6. That wave will be pushing in on the bottom side of the map. It is a very small window that it seems like G2 are reacting to a bit, with both Jankos and Caps coming down to pick up Scuttle Crab, but also be in range to cover in case of a 3v3.
Jankos right now, as you said, clearing out the Scuttle, keeping an eye on Wunder once again, level 7 right now. Jankos and Broxah are going to meet.
Level 6 available to Broxah. I was waiting to see if the cast came out.
Yeah.
I literally held my breath in case of the engage. Caps, no flash available. Getting chunked down by the Gatling cannon, but the rocket barrage, at least the previous shot would not connect. That one did. 67 CS and a Hex Drinker for Nemesis on his Klepto Corki. Up against 65 with the Blasting Wand, double Doran's Rings for Caps. It's a 600 gold lead to Fnatic. The first backs have already been coming in. And Fnatic in a pretty comfortable position right now. Scatter the Weak will be used to pick up.
Broxah has the combo.
All right, barrel roll is going to get blocked away from. I'm just waiting to see. There's no support though, but the package.
Oh,
was
Stand United.
All right, Stand United comes down. Is there an Akali follow? No. I'm going to keep
this time.
I'm going to keep looking at the minimap because I feel like it could happen.
But they
Every
do get the
single
Shen.
time.
The thing is, they get the Shen ultimate out, and it's not being used in a proactive way. Remember when we saw G2 run the Shen, they actually set up a dive in game 2, whereas now it's being used defensively, but fortunately Fnatic can convert this into a Mountain Drake.
Fnatic say they need a play right now, and while Wunder does have teleport, Caps does not, and he was just forced back into base. This means Nemesis can walk over first, and they should be able to pick this one up without contest.
All right, Lucent Singularity is thrown inside the pit. Jankos is trying to fish for some sort of opportunity, but the longer that G2 can hold Fnatic in lane, the more turret plates are going to go down. Turret plates have fallen bot, turret plates have fallen top, and this is a very, very good turnaround for G2, considering how the previous games, early games, have gone for the squads.
I like the decision making here from G2, just funnel more gold onto the Akali. If our observers could once again flip over to the gold, you will notice that there is a 1.3k gold advantage already being built up for Wunder. So much so that Fnatic have actually decided to potentially swap the lanes, have Nemesis actually move up towards the top to go for this 1v1 against Wunder, which we do know is a slightly better matchup.
Interesting that they do decide to do this, especially because they just picked up the package for Nemesis. Maybe they can fully push out that wave and look to see and try and use that in the middle lane, because both Hylissang and Broxah are in the area, but there is this minute window now where Fnatic have the ability to force a play with that big global.
All right, ultimate is available for Caps, and that should be able to pick up a very easy kill. Jankos is the one that gets the credit, though. That's a dash via from Caps, and on the kick, of course. Now Broxah used the ultimate, didn't accrue a lot. Caps and Jankos running away. Nemesis is making his way forward. He's floating on that package for now. Dun 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 dun.
Ooh. Wouldn't have gotten the kill.
It wouldn't have, but he was looking for Jankos, most likely.
What it would have meant was probably more than one turret play in the mid lane, because Caps would not have been able to immediately teleport back in the mid.
That's very, very true. Good spot there, Ender. Now, Fnatic, they have lost their gold advantage. Large part in that is largely due to the fact that G2 was able to find that pick in the mid, and they will swap the lanes back to normal. Nemesis will now return to the mid lane. We can see that he's been playing very well in what was a counter matchup. Again, we talked about this, jungle support heavily in favor of Fnatic in the early game. And when we think about how the early game plan was, I'm usually a big fan of hard camping Syndra lanes just because of how easy it is to set up ganks in that lane. But again, when you're playing against the likes of a Corki, that's easier said than done. So I understand why Jankos decided to put more focus on the bot lane, and to be fair, it is paying off. 97 CS advantage in favor of PerkZ. He has a level advantage. The duo, in fact, has a level advantage. And Rekkles has kind of been forced to play on the defensive throughout this entire lane.
Even though he was playing defensive, though, with that early TP commit from Bwipo towards bottom lane, Rekkles does have a gold lead over PerkZ, though. So all that investment in that bottom side of the map didn't actually pay off that much, because Rekkles did pick up the kill.
Yeah, but at the cost of Bwipo's own lane. He's down nearly 40 CS right now. Wunder got himself a kill. And I know we have talked about that Akali Shen interaction a couple times already, and I'll get to it again in a moment. Very good body slam there from Broxah. Flash over Jankos, but he didn't have the Dragon Rage to kick. Now Caps is in trouble, manages to get the stun onto Hilly, so Hilly can't chase. The light blinding will tag down. True Shot Barrage, this time finds two. Jankos almost killed. Hylissang's running for his life. Final sparks available for Mickey. It can be used to clear the wave. It may not be needed. So close. Teleport is going to tower so PerkZ can defend the wave.
Yeah, PerkZ just going there to pick that up. Everything going perfectly for G2 right there. Yes, they lose the flash on Mickey, but PerkZ with some crucial skill shots was able to stay alive even though he lacked the flash. The question is, can PerkZ do the same? He does have vision that Hylissang is in the area.
Looking for a dive mid.
And Fnatic, they want to go mid, not bot.
All right, no flash available. Caps is going to need to find some sort of stun or ultimate. He actually just gets chunked out. Take a look at that! The Hex and Caps turns it around. Praise from Gragas backstage as Caps finds the kill.
Claps has come to pay, and he gets the outplay onto Nemesis. Much needed for Caps in the mid lane, because you could see that dive coming. Fnatic looked like they were in a great position to find this kill because the stun gets used by Caps. He sidesteps the ultimate, he sidesteps the Q. Broxah has to tank all the tower, and then because Nemesis takes one too many shots, Caps is able to get the kill. Look at the smile on his face as he gets, and a bit of dancing on the dead body. He's able to get a bit of revenge after last game.
It's an absolute tilter there for Fnatic. They lose two members, and now it's Jankos, knowing that Broxah was dead, can pick up the Rift Herald super easily. They have a minute to use it for plates if they want, and if they just want to keep funneling gold into one of these soul laners, they can easily do it.
And let's now think about momentum and how it's swinging into the favor of G2 eSports. We talked about coming into this game that Fnatic have had control over every early game, even the one where G2 came back. But now it actually feels like this is more of the G2 from the regular season. The solo laners are performing. PerkZ is going even, and G2 just feel a lot more comfortable in this state of play.
Absolutely the case. Wunder has lane swap down. Hilly and Rekkles not going to get the support, but not only is momentum with G2, the style in which they are finding the kills is the reason everyone expected G2 to 3-0 this series. Flashy, fundamental, beautiful play. And that's why G2 have got 1,000 gold lead. They're 2-1 up, and Wunder underneath the tower almost kills Hylissang. Broxah's got the ultimate available, and is dashed away from. He can't even find the target.
I mean, G2 just in every single lane now, dancing on the bodies of Fnatic. Wunder doing such a great job now mid.
There's not even point yelling for that one. Light binding into Scatter the Weak is going to allow a lot more damage. Now, turret plates have fallen. I believe the Rift Herald and Tower First Blood secured top, was just before that happened. So G2 eSports now extend that lead in the blink of an eye by 2,000 gold.
So now we look at moving into the mid game. Fnatic, their only answer for Wunder is to send Nemesis to go and deal with him. But because of the 2 deaths that he's recently experienced, Wunder is going to be so much stronger given he's hit those item spikes so early on into the game. More damage in the mid lane.
It is indeed. Hylissang is going to be able to escape for the time being.
Going in.
Wow.
Keeps Broxah alive. Very good charm. Hylissang finally goes down. But now Bwipo is continuing the chase. That's going to be a reply.
Here comes Wunder.
As Rekkles has now got one. Mykix is running for his life. Wunder's making his way up. Perfect execution available. Broxah is the target. He will now find the reply. Ocean Drake picked up by G2. Jankos in the time being. Rekkles takes a chunk of damage. And now Wunder waiting for some cooldowns. The recall will not be able to complete. Dash, flash is going to be committed there from Bwipo. He cannot find the kill. And G2 are flying ahead.
Fnatic just feel everything slipping away. They're forcing so hard in the mid lane. And it looked cool at the start. Hylissang with some flashy plays after getting burst down so low. But they are not strong enough to combat G2 in an even fight. And that's what happened. And that's how G2 turned.
And also in terms of itemization, G2 had a number of big ticket items completed. Gunblade, Luden's Echo, in essence Reaver, that was going into the Iceborne Gauntlet. What you can see is the goal difference throughout the series from G2's perspective. And it's just getting better as they are warming up. And important to note, they won Game 3 with a minus 2.4k.
Exactly. We've been talking a lot about this and how G2 throughout the series have been in an early deficit, but now they have control. And for me, there's something that is very different this game to what we've seen before. And Bwipo is not on the carry. If we think about where a lot of these early game advantages were coming from, Bwipo was getting solo kills. He was getting jungle attention. We were seeing Nemesis roam to the top lane, and now we see Caps get another solo kill onto Rekkles, who is also finding 2v2 advantages. It feels like that because Fnatic had no easy lane to play around in the early game, it has allowed G2 to dictate the pace of the early game, and that is a situation which they are more than happy to take.
This is the G2 we know and love, not slowing down at all, and now it's Wunder between the towers farming the lanes. Fnatic, they're committing down towards this bottom lane, but I don't think you can catch him.
Gonna run for his life for now. Nemesis waiting for some cooldowns with the Velk.
Look at mid lane.
Not gonna happen. Mid lane tower is going to fall. Mickey's just waiting. He wants to go fishing with that light binding over the wall. Very nicely done from Cap.
Hit
the angles, but the body slam then comes out. Jankos looking for the kid. Not gonna come Broxah just yet.
That was
Broxah
greedy.
Escaped with his life, but I commend the effort.
He gets no praise for that because he was going to live. He was definitely going to get out of that one, but instead he greeted for the play. It only would have been a 1-for-1 at the end of the day.
G2 greeting for a play when they're up 6,000 gold. Long have we waited, G2 fully activated, and it looks to me like we are going to Game 5.
But the game isn't over yet, Quickshot. You still got to remember that Fnatic do have scaling on their side. We saw how G2 was able to hold the line in Game 4 and come back. It just feels different because of how aggressive G2 are playing right now and how they are excelling this gold lead. Over the next few steps, what we're going to be seeing from G2 is them getting deeper vision and start looking for more picks, more skirmishes. With Wunder's TP coming up, I expect G2 to start going on the offensive.
And of course, Cap's dad there just being shown in the bottom corner of the screen. Once Cap starts playing well, of course, because Game 3, Nemesis definitely had his number. And it's not something that I was really expecting to see happen. But his Corki 1, 2, and 0 doesn't even have the Trinity Force completed until literally I started that sentence. So 18 minutes in, now he can start looking to really put tons of damage out. And he needs to find the appropriate targets, down 5,000 gold, down 2 towers as well.
Notice how G2 do have top pushed in and bot pushed in, along with all of the vision control around the top side of the map. There's ward here, and now they're trying to make a play towards the red buff and gain some control towards the bot side, but they are just pushing their vision line up towards the enemy half of the map and trying to suffocate Fnatic out of this game.
At the same time, it's just 3 members of G2 here, so they're not going to commit into any sort of fight because Wunder and PerkZ were not there. But this is what G2 are going to do. It's all about controlling the Fnatic jungle, especially as you look forward in the next couple minutes when G2 start focusing in on the Baron buff, because their comp is so good at picking off individual members. What they want to do is deny you vision in the river, deny you vision inside your jungle, and the second a member of Fnatic go up to face check, they get bound, they get stunned, they get instantly burst down.
All right, Hylissang's trying to look for an engage. Mickey, line fighting, hasn't found a target yet. The Stand United was completed from Bwipo, but he's been locked down by so many forms of CC. Fnatic once again throwing the stand united at G2, and it does not pay off.
I do like that Fnatic is at least trying to force fights. They recognize that they're at a gold deficit, and Bwipo can't really do much on a side lane, so they're trying to use that Shen ultimate to force a fight. And if it could have resulted in a pick onto Caps, then it allows them to buy more time. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off, but I'd rather see this than just watch the game slowly fall out of your control.
Oh my word, 2v1. Wunder's looking for the double kill, and against the tower. He will get taken down. 1 for 2. All chat worth, I dare you. Wunder, 11 kills with G2 right now, 4-1-1. He's up, by the way, 70 CS over his lane opponents.
Yeah, Wunder had the option there to use the stopwatch, I believe, but knew with multiple members collapsing on him, he needed to save that for a later fight. See it one more time, because again, Bwipo starts this off and isn't able to find the taunt onto Wunder. Wunder jukes with a little step back towards the left, and then realizes, hey, these guys really squishy. I'm really strong, level 13 on the Akali. Super easy kills. He lands that E, even getting knocked back, able to charge through.
And this is why I was saying I like the plays from Fnatic trying to force fights in the mid lane, because if they just sit in sides, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
Case. Press R's, and that is where it finishes. Now, Wunder is going to jump into the fight with the TP. He's looking for Broxah, who's down to 200 HP in his PerkZ. That flashes forward, throwing out a million feathers a mile. And now Nemesis and Bwipo, they escape with their lives. Defensive flash from Rekkles after the arcane shift. And yet another kill to G2.
Pick after pick after pick is coming out from the side of G2, and it's all because of the vision control that not only are they setting up, but they're fighting for constantly. Now they're going for the Baron buff. G2 have 5 members alive versus the 3 of Fnatic. They're choosing not to contest, or actually the TP comes through.
They're teleporting in, but it's almost impossible to step into G2. You must dodge the CC coming through, or you instantly are taken down.
Okay, 5,000 HP on the Baron. It is a 3v5 for now. 2 more members of Fnatic are making their way up. Nemesis is trying to pepper them with rockets. That's good damage onto Mickey for now, but the prismatic barrier is buying time. A kick back from Bwipo. He's now pushed away from the pit. Baron is secured by G2. Yet another very early Baron.
Here comes Wunder!
Here comes Wunder! The final spark plus Wunder is able to do so much damage to Fnatic. A second kill falls as Wunder is finding more targets, and the rest of Fnatic are running for their lives.
G2 take everything they want, and they're going to reset to maybe TP back on in. They have a minion wave to work with. They're going to be sieging down this first tower, and they're looking for an inhib.
For the first time in 5 years, Fnatic and G2 are playing at peak performance to give us a peak performance series. G2 is on the cusp of forcing Game 5, on the cusp of forcing Silver Scrapes. Not many people believed that that was the series we were going to see today, but I guarantee you, everybody wanted it.
Every European fan has looked at G2 and Fnatic, and every time that best of 5 starts, everyone thinks it's going to be the full 5 games. It's going to be crazy. But every time we get it, it never lives up to the hype. Now we're finally getting it as G2 is smashing Fnatic in this game. We see Caps one-shotting the Rakan there. We see Nemesis trying to find that pick onto Mickey, but Wunder TP's in. The TP comes in from what I would call the Umayan play as he flashes into the face of Fnatic and finds another kill. G2 seem to be finally online. It took them 3 games to warm up, but now G2 is ready to play.
In the 4 years that these two teams and organizations have been competing, G2 and Fnatic has been 3-1, 3-1, 3-0. None of those series have been truly rewarding. Neither team was at peak performance at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It
That's
always felt
crucial.
like one team was always the more dominant. We think back to the 2 years that G2 won their back-to-back splits, and then last year where Fnatic was just overall dominant. Now it feels like both these teams are coming online, and I'm sure many European fans are already looking at the World Championship and thinking, this is great for us, but it also gives us this fantastic series as G2 is knocking on the door and base of Fnatic.
Just a small typo on that little glimpse there. Now, Ender, G2 eSports are pushing into the base. We talked a lot about momentum, and while the game isn't over yet, Fnatic's mental looks to be boom right now as they are being crushed.
It very could be soon. Now G2 waiting for the next wave in the top lane primarily for this siege. They have a pretty nasty siege. Again, land 1 spell and a player on Fnatic will die. So with this wave, Wunder pushing up mid. See the synchronized pressure from G2 in top and mid. No one can hold them.
Here we go. The siege is now starting off. Wunder likely going to be taking that inhibitor as G2 just slowly take their time. Bwipo can do very little in this 1v1 matchup, but look at all the damage PerkZ takes.
Yeah, very good indeed. That's going to at least dissuade the push. Just a reminder, it's been 372 days since a Game 5 has happened in Europe. No Game 5 in LEC at all. There's 30 seconds left on Baron. It's been 308 days since G2 eSports have lost in a best of 5, and they do not want to lose today. Caps is going to get some more damage onto Bwipo and will secure the kill with the help of PerkZ. The Nexus turrets are being focused down. 1 and 2. Fnatic have been obliterated in Game 4. DJ, cue the silver scrapes because we are going to Game 5. G2 are not yet ready to finish it as they want to hunt a couple more kills. And this was the most G2 game I've seen. Game 5, G2 versus Fnatic.
What a stomp from G2 eSports. Again, I want to reinforce how for Fnatic, it felt like that they didn't have that early game focus that they've had throughout the rest of the series. Bwipo was not on a carry. They didn't try to play through Bwipo in the early game, and it felt like that a lot of what they were trying to do was reacting to what G2 were doing, and they were the ones dictating all of the early game plays, all of the outplays, while Wunder was just freely scaling in the top lane.
It's what happens when G2 draft 3 winning lanes and the stronger early game jungler. G2 were able to take control from the get-go. Heavy plays down towards the bottom lane, and yes, Fnatic did respond. It looked like they fought back well, but it led to a situation where there was no one that could match Wunder. In a side lane, in a team fight, that man was untouchable.
Fantastic performance, and not only was it untouchable, he did it looking so smooth. The Akali across the map plays into Shen. It's gonna make the teams, think twice about that option again. Day has turned to night, and will the same be true for Fnatic?
Quickshot. Why are you not more excited about the fact that we have a fast game?
Honestly, the 4th game was so brutal for Fnatic. And the reason I'm a little nervous, not unexcited,
that maybe the wind is knocked out?
Do you remember what happened to SKT when they went into Game 5 against a fully activated G2? That's probably what Fnatic are talking about right now. In tonight's thrilling series, everything falls down to Game 5 between the 2 best teams in Europe and the 2 best organizations. DJ, turn up Silver Scrapes. All right, no flash available. Caps is going to need to find some sort of stun or ultimate. He actually just gets chunked out of the Take a look at that! The Hex.
Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off, but I'd rather see this than just watch the game slowly fall out of your control.
Oh my word, 2v1. Wunder's looking for the double kill and against the tower. Just a reminder, it's been 372 days since a Game 5 has happened in Europe. No Game 5 in LEC at all. The Nexus turrets are being focused down. 1 and 2. Fnatic have been obliterated in Game 4.